Ladies and gentle cars. It's a Cars reference. Get it? But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know, I've been on and off on this channel every now and then. You know, you'll see me randomly drop a post, you know, about some random video, like maybe, I don't know, a John Carpenter ranking. It was a pretty good video. It really was. But, you know, it's 2026 now. It's a new year. New us. Could say new me, but we're going with new us because I'm gonna try as hard as I possibly can to bring back this channel, bring it back to its old glory. And what better way to start that by ranking the Friday the 13th franchise. Now, for those of you old heads, basically, people who have been supporting me for a really long time, this is like the third time I've done this. But as of right now on my channel, there's none. So I figured, well, this is probably the most popular franchise. Maybe Halloween beats it out, but one of those two is probably the most popular franchises in terms of horror, which of course is the thing that I know about the most. So I figured, let's start this channel up again by re-ranking the Friday the 13th films, because another thing about that is that my opinion's changed quite a lot. Like, I'm looking at the list, it's changed quite a lot. So without any further ado, let's get started. So at number 12, which is kind of annoying that there's only 12 of these and there's not 13, because, you know, it would have fit pretty well. It would have been, you know, ironic and funny if there was 13 of these. But regardless, at number 12 is Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. It's a weird one, you know? It's a real strange film. Jason, while he's in it, is awesome. It's one of the coolest looks of him, you know. It's iconic. The look of Jason in this film, where he's been wearing the mask for so long that it's literally like morphed into his face. The little that we get to see of it is phenomenal. But then the rest of it, Jason isn't Jason. He's actually a slug that goes from person to person and pukes himself like from mouth to mouth onto random people, and it's them who go around killing. But the problem is that that's not what we want. We come to these movies for Jason. This ain't Jason. This is the dollar store worker killing somebody just because he's got a slug inside of him. It's a real weird film, you know? And also, he now has a sister, which we've never heard of, and this is like the 9th film, and his sister is like magic, or has like a, I don't know. Not a fan. Can't say I'm a fan. At number 11, speaking of like weird and magical, it's gonna be Jason X. Jason Goes to Space. And although there is some cool moments, you know, they have like that one kill with like the liquid nitrogen, and Uber Jason, I think, in theory and even in presentation, I guess, looks cool the first time you see him. But that's it. This movie has 2 moments, and I just don't think that the rest of the film and its overall premise can bring it up any higher than, you know, the bottom of the list, basically. My number 10, I'm gonna get killed for this one. Sorry, y'all. My number 10 is Part 6, Jason Lives. See, so this one is your 6th film in your series, and it's the same thing. It's just the same, and the thing that your series is about is kind of boring. Like, let's be real. Some of these Friday the 13th films, especially the originals, can get kind of boring. And this is your 6th one, and it's the same thing. The only thing that's different about it is that it's more comedic. But the comedy isn't really that funny. Like, at some point, a guy gets his face smashed into a tree, and Jason, like, rips it back, and when he falls down, it reveals, like, a smiley face carved into his tree. Like, I don't know, man. It's just not for me. You know, there's not a lot of, like, blood and not a lot of memorable kills in this movie either. it's just not one that I rewatch all the time. And that's sort of a big thing when I'm measuring these movies is, you know, how much rewatch value do these have? And I've only really seen this one like once or twice because I just don't really care to rewatch it that often. At number 9 is going to be the remake. Now, the remake suffers from, I think, similar things to Part 6, that it's just the same thing. Like, they do a remake, and they just do the same thing. They just do Part 1, 2, and 3, and they do it all jammed into one movie, and it's just kind of the same, except it doesn't have that same original movie feeling because it came out in 2009, I believe it was, or maybe 2010. So I just don't think that it really stands out. The only reason it's above Part 6 is because it's got a lot of very gory, memorable kills. So that's really the only reason I have it ranked above Part 6 is because it's just a little bit more memorable. And at number 8, I'm sure you guys have been asking, where is this one? Where's this one been? Well, at number 8 is number 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Speaking of memorable, this movie is memorable for a number of reasons, not taking into account its memorability for its title, promising something that doesn't actually really happen, but it does, and it's fun when it does. And that's why I have it ranked this high, because I do think that what makes this movie so memorable is its third act. I really, really like its third act when he is in Manhattan because it's something different. And even on the boat, sure, it's just another slasher kind of movie, but a different setting is at least something different from just another camp movie. So I understand that it has a lot of flaws, but I just think that because of its differences and the fact that it tried at least to go outside the box and that there are some really cool scenes in this movie, that I think that it deserves a little more love than it gets. My number 7 is going to be Part 3. Now this is probably the most harmless movie in this franchise, I guess you can say. Not harmless in terms of there's no gore in it, because there are some really cool and nasty kills, like, you know, the guy who gets split down the middle. That's insane. But again, it's another Friday the 13th movie. It's kind of chill, you know, it's the one where Jason gets his mask. But again, there's just nothing much to this other than here's Jason, here's the camp, here are the kills. And the kills themselves aren't bad. The kills are cool. It's just nothing to write home about in terms of the overall broader, you know, grand scheme of things. So that's why it kind of finds itself right in the middle. My number 6 is going to be Part 5, The New Beginning. I know a lot of people hate this one as well because technically it's not Jason, and I understand, you know, I'm a big Michael Myers fan, so if there was all of a sudden a Michael Myers movie where Michael Myers, you know, kind of wasn't the killer, he gave up his mask to someone else, then I would be pretty pissed off. But for me, as more of a Jason casual, I see this movie and I see this as just another Jason movie with just a weird twist at the end. So I just don't really have that many problems with it, but I do have it ranked pretty high because the kills that we get in this movie are some of the best kills and most gory kills in the series. You know, when you think of Friday the 13th and you think of all the elements you need to have in order to make up a good one, I think this one has some of the most of those elements in the series. So for me, it's got to be pretty high because it's got a lot. It's just got a really stupid ending. At number 5 for me is going to be Part 7, The New Blood. Now for me, this one is just sort of just a regular, kind of boring Friday the 13th film. Until it's not. The ending of this film drastically increases its spot on this list because the first half of it, I won't lie, is pretty boring. There's not many kills, there's not much going on. But the second half is absolutely unbelievable. Jason's final girl foe in this film is basically Carrie. Like, it's completely insane. Like, she has this telekinetic power in her brain. That's where telekinesis comes from. What am I talking about? and she literally is just throwing things at him, setting him on fire, dropping a house on him. Like she does everything you can imagine that someone like Carrie would do if she was fighting Jason, and it's awesome. At one point, I even called this one my favorite in the series before, I'll be honest, before rewatching it and noticing that the first half of it is pretty boring. But if you can manage to get past that first half, that second half is a gold mine. It's basically like this image right here. Like, you gotta get through the first half, and believe me, you won't be disappointed. This movie is awesome. My number 4 is Part 4, the final chapter. This one has it all. This is prime Jason. You know, he's got the mask, he's got the slash, you got Tommy in here. This is his introduction as a character, one of the most iconic, you know, non-Jason characters in the series, basically. And speaking of the other, like, killable characters, you got probably some of the most memorable killable characters in the series, especially towards, you know, I guess fans of this series. And it's got some of the best kills. I mean, my god, it gets to a point where later in the movie, it's just boom, 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 kill after kill after kill. And it's non-stop. This is an awesome movie. Beginning to end, it really is. It's one of the best Friday the 13th films. It's most people's favorite, and that's for a reason. It's not my favorite. I think that there's a couple of movies that are just a little bit better, but I could totally see why people have it ranked even so much higher than I have it, and I had it ranked at number 4. Coming in at number 3, sorry I had to do it, it's Freddy vs. Jason. I mean, Freddy's in it. I mean, come on, dude. A movie with Freddy Krueger in it, well, maybe that's not a great argument. A movie with Freddy Krueger fighting Jason Voorhees in it is awesome. Like, and this movie is awesome. I'm sorry. It's just one of my favorites. I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people are disappointed by it because it's like a little cheesy or whatever. But, I mean, you had to expect that. And the fight scenes, the fight sequences are exactly what you would have wanted out of a movie called Freddy vs. Jason. I mean, the blood, the gore, Jason and Freddy using each other's own moves and their own weapons. It's awesome. You know, you can argue that Freddy kind of got the short end of the stick. Like, Jason got pretty much all the kills. Freddy didn't really do that much in the movie, I guess. Except for, like, resurrect Jason and then say that he was afraid of water, which isn't true. But it's just the fights, really, is what it is. Like, you look at those fight sequences and you look at some of the kills in the movie, and it's like, it's one of the coolest horror movies of all time. And honestly, I understand some of the backlash towards it, but I won't ever understand why so many people, like, genuinely hate this movie. Because I love it. At number 2 is Part 2. Now, this is basically, it's how you make a Friday the 13th movie. You know, you got the right pace. You know, it's not too slow, but it's not also too sped up and crazy. You got the right cast of killables. You got the right final girl who's wicked smart. Sorry, Boston accent coming out. Wicked. She's wicked smart. She's crafty. She knows how to beat Jason, and she uses her skills to perfection. It's got some great kills. You know, the guy who gets the machete to the face in the wheelchair, and then he rolls down the hill. It's a fun movie while also still being a scary movie. And that's kind of what these movies, I think, are supposed to be. Plus, I almost forgot to mention his look. His look, I know it's been ripped off a million times, but his look with the bag head, sick. It's awesome. But coming in at number 1, maybe to some surprise actually, is going to be the original. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there who don't hold this in very high regard, but for me, it's just one of those movies where I gotta disagree. You know, it's a really dark film, if you really look at it. There's no kind of like backlighting because of how low the budget was. So in the nighttime scenes, you can really feel that isolation, really, that isolation in the camp, and you can kind of feel the character's fear more. And plus, it's got, in my opinion, this might be a hot take, the best kills in the series. I mean, my favorite kill in the whole series is the one where the girl who's in the bathroom gets the axe to the face. It's just done so perfectly, and plus you got Pamela Voorhees. You wouldn't get Pamela Voorhees without this, and technically I guess you wouldn't get Jason. You know, I think that Pamela reveal is great. I know there's a lot of people who don't like it because I guess technically she wasn't really ever set up, but I think once she gets revealed, she's awesome as a character and awesome as a villain. Her motivation makes sense. It's a movie that's legitimately made creepy by its low budget and atmosphere. Like, there's so many moments and scenes where you can actually feel the tension in this movie. So for me, it's actually number one, and just because of that, because, you know, it's a horror movie, it's trying to scare you, and this is the one that I guess scares me the most on a psychological level. So for me, my number one is the original Friday the 13th. So thank you all for watching this video, this third ranking I've done on YouTube of the Friday the 13th franchise. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stay tuned for what's next, because there will be something next, and I can actually, like, assure you that this time. So I'll be back here soon. Not sure exactly what it'll be with next, but we'll find out when we get there. So until then, I've been James McKenna. Have a happy new year, if that's when this video is dropping. I don't know when this video is dropping. I'm just filming it in the middle of December. But yeah, until whatever time this video is going to be dropping at, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Hopefully.